Good evening.
Welcome to.
That was just a little
Yeah, okay. Welcome to Reseller Chinwag number 22.
I like the way you have to scroll down the page to check.
I have to check. Yeah, I'm just checking whether we're going like live or not, but we are live. Everything looks good. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to Reseller Chinwag number 22. I'm just gonna quickly mute that. Awesome. Yeah, everything's looking cool. We have already got a few people in the chat. So I'm going to say a few hellos. Yep. We've got Gary Dunster, who was first, who says he hopes he wins a prize. There's no prize, Gary. The old Haggis Hunter has joined us. Scooby-Doo, Jason Entwistle, the Hyper Picker, Amanda, Falling on a Bruise, Chelsea, Trisha J, Darren Smart, Koss, a Hyper Picker, Phoebe Finn Fashion Plus, Malinky, Heather, Reseller Network, Mir Cameron Ali, Panzer, Hixie, and Leanne. And the first question of the evening is from Reseller Network. Who does Zaheer think will win between David Hay and Tony Bellew? Who should I bet on, Z? Well, I know not much about boxing at the moment, so it would be like me just guessing 50-50. I'm just going to say David Hay.
Because he's the first one.
That's because his name was first in your message. But yeah, I wouldn't otherwise follow that bet because you're most likely going to lose your money unless obviously he's a really good fighter and he's tipped to win.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind watching a boxing. I haven't watched one for ages. Panzer 1511 has popped in. Leanne Lakin, Watcher Selling, Treasure Pirate, Richard Payne, Fabian says hi as well. Z's hair is going whiter the longer he's a reseller. Yes, it is.
All the stress.
Oh my word! Yeah, I mean, anyone.
And if you kind of lift up these bits, it's even worse.
I'm like Richard Reed, like from Fantastic Four.
The bits on the side are like
oh
really,
my god! Yeah. Anyone that tells you this reselling is like, ha ha ha, just okay.
What was that?
I don't know. Okay, I don't know what that was. That was me trying to show.
No, don't lie. You run through the house doing that all the time.
No, that was me trying to show that you shouldn't take reselling to just be like, too light-hearted because.
Yeah, okay, let's move on.
I'm just making a point. Beak Nuke says he's here, no notification. Chrissy Bond says hello from Dorset. Reseller Network's going to bet on Hay anyway. Okay. Has he lost weight? I don't know. I doubt it. I'm trying to, but we'll see. Yeah. Will you take less says hi as well. John Clisol says hi as well. Richard Hale, Indie Chick as well. We've got quite a few people in here, which is fantastic. We've got 43 people watching us at the moment. Z needs some Just for Men. I'm against using hair products because I like the kind of...
You're against it.
I'm not like... they're not for me, okay? I like
that's
great. Yeah, I like this because it's like a silver, so manly. Okay, that laugh. That laugh was my attempt at showing you that's how you shouldn't take reselling. Because I know sometimes we come across as very and. I don't know, but maybe we come across really happy, but it is stressful, guys. Yeah, it is. We have our good times and we have our bad times, and it can get to you, builds up. Like anything, it's like a roller coaster, as you guys know. Reselling is like you're only as good as your last day, your last week, your last month. So the pressure is always on, especially when things aren't going completely as planned. George Russ says, hi guys, finally made a live chat. Philippa Spalton has joined us. Kevin Rosen, I've explained what that is. Finn Fashion says, sophisticated look Z, that's what I say anyway. Z says, get a Turkish haircut, shaved at the side, and long hair on top like a hipster. I'm not sure if I can pull that off, actually, Reseller Network. I mean, it's not something... I don't know. I might go for a short back. I do like keeping it long on the top. But I don't want to talk too much about my beautiful hair. It is. Barry says he's waiting to be a silver fox. What do you mean waiting, Barry? Clearly,
I have. You're already there, aren't you?
I think I've achieved somewhat of a silver fox status. Mir Cameron Ali says reselling is stressful. the Reselling Network says my sales this week have been great at the start and bad after Wednesday. My fault though, didn't list much. Daniel Warren says, had an email from my Hermes today saying I have to pay £4 for the return parcel as the person was not in but the buyer said he was in. What should I do? Oh, that's a difficult one actually.
That is a tough one.
I'm not sure what you do in that situation. As far as I'm aware, Hermes tried like 3 times, but when they've returned the parcel to us, I don't think we've been charged. I'm not sure we've been charged for it. So unless that might be a new thing they're doing, but I think it's a bit unfair for you to have to take that cost. At the end of the day, even though the buyer says they were in, they didn't
answer the door.
They didn't answer the door. They didn't get the parcel. So yeah, that's what I would say. Oh come on, you could do the hipster thing. All that coffee to drink, says Bug Chick. Leanne says, especially when all your tech dies at the same time, a computer dead, phone in the repairs too. Yes, that would be very stressful, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
I don't know what I would be able to do if my phone went. Yeah. It's something that it's always there.
Yeah, I mean, Beak Nuke has a good point. He says, is that a genuine email? Yeah, always check. What you will find is the longer you do reselling, somehow or other, people will get your information and start messaging you with stuff. I found after selling certain items, especially, I think it was Microsoft things? Wasn't it like Windows and things like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think, you don't know. Oh, okay.
I don't check your emails, do I?
Maybe you should. After selling a few items specifically, such as Microsoft Windows, I started to get like weird messages from like China, from people saying they can sell me 10 keys of Windows.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh, now you know.
Yeah, I remember. Don't check your emails.
David McGregor says, I'm in London. Any tips for a fried chicken dinner? Chicken Cottage, Morley's, Dallas fried chicken. They're all awesome. My favourite is Morley's though, David. Please check it out. Yeah, and it depends where you are really, but yeah, that's what I would say. Let's have a look. What else have we got in there? How's the clothes shop going, Bex? Do you want to have a chat about that? Matt asks. Yep.
Yeah, it's going okay. It's
What?
Well, sales are few and far between, shall we say.
Okay, guys, we have had an absolutely terrible month of sales.
And that's on both stores.
Yeah, I don't know why we're smiling while we're saying it, but we have had a terrible month. Like my store, for example.
Mine's to be expected.
Yours is to be expected, but my store is like 40% down on the last 31 days. So you can imagine that is a massive drop. Now,
see, mine's 29% up.
Yours hers 29% up, but that's when you start with nothing, But the plus side is, guys, we have been listing, amongst the eBay stores and Amazon. We've now got over 1,000 items online, so that's a positive. I had let my store drop a fair bit since you started working on it. We dropped below 600. We're back up to like 640 now. And your store is approaching 300 listings.
Yeah, I'm on 290 at the moment on the second store.
Exactly. So the thing is, and that's probably what's caused a few more of the grey hairs, maybe. But the thing is, it's really great. This is when community and friends come in so handy, because it can put things in perspective. Because you start questioning stuff, don't you? You're like, do I even know what I'm buying? Like you discount everything that's gone before. So you discount all the sales that you've had before. You discount all of it, and then suddenly think, I don't know. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Like the way I'm feeling right this moment, guys, I would say look at us for how not to do it rather than don't, we're just sharing our journey, but don't follow it because we're not doing well, right? That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel. Yeah. However, if I'd spoken to you like a month ago, I was doing much better. And I would have been like, yeah, I'm doing this. These are cool items to look out for. Now I'm like, do I even tell you guys what to look out for? Because you probably buy it and then not be able to sell it, because we sure as hell aren't. So it's kind of an interesting topic. We talk about it a lot, the ups and downs of it all. But it's I mean, what was the actual question? It was how your store was going. But you know, in terms of effort and work, like, you know, we've gotten up, like I said, Becca's gotten up to 300 listings, which is fantastic. So we're really happy about that.
So the second store's going well. I was hoping to aim to get to 300 listings by the end of February. Didn't quite hit that, but you know, I wasn't far off. So.
Exactly. It is one of those things. Miss Beauty, Mia Cameron says, how do you feel when someone buys your expensive item and the buyer has zero feedback? I've had that happen, Mia Cameron Ali, where I've sold expensive items to people with zero feedback. I just sell it to them because I just hope that it'll be fine, because and touch wood, so far I've not had any issues with zero, like I can think of really major ones. I've had the odd issue where we've had a zero feedback customer, for example, from somewhere like Costa Rica, and they'll buy like something off of me, like an action figure or something, and then they'll be surprised when I tell them it's going to cost, you know, like this much to ship to them because they live in Costa Rica, right? And they've got zero feedback, and then they won't buy the item. But most of the time, people that complete a transaction and buy items on zero feedback, it might be that they've just seen something they love, they've never been on eBay, and they're going for it.
I mean, I didn't start my eBay account. I was pretty late, actually. I used to use yours all the time, didn't I?
Exactly.
I think I only opened my eBay account maybe a year or 2 years ago.
Exactly. And I think the funny thing is, when you've been on eBay for years, you think, by now, I've been on this now for 10 years, by now surely everyone that's going to be on eBay is going to be on eBay. And obviously there's people growing up all the time. There's how many people have been... Yeah, exactly. You know. But I'm just saying, that's how I thought. At first I thought, like, oh, you know, by now, who's on zero? Because at first I was like, oh, he's got zero feedback. Why has he got zero feedback? Like, it's suspicious. And it's not suspicious at all. No. You've got to remember, guys, there are new people joining eBay for the very first time all the time. So I wouldn't give it a second thought. If they've paid for the item, they've got PayPal protection. You've got whatever protection eBay provides and whatever PayPal provides. And you've got to work within that and go with it.
Exactly.
Let's have a look. Beeknick asks, can you guys play any musical instruments local town for busking?
No.
Good idea, but unfortunately no, we can't. Miss Beauty asks, question, how much do you list a day? Depends.
It varies. It varies on the stock that we actually have. What I've been doing is, if I'm not working at the shop or anything like that, if I'm actually, you know, working from home from that day, then I will try and list as much as I can, but I will have them as drafts, so that if the next day I can't list because I'm working at the shop or I know we're going to be busy sourcing or whatever, then I've got enough items to go active the following day. So I'm trying to create activity every day on the store with new listings. So but it does vary. I
mean, I think at the moment we're in the position now where we do pretty much list what we get in very quickly. The thing we don't have is a big Nick Hill style or Caroline style or so many other resellers out there style. We don't have a pile of shame or a backlog.
We're pretty up to date.
We're pretty up to date. Which is not as good a thing as it sounds.
When we go out sourcing, we're pretty much having to come back, sort through it, list it straight away, and then go sourcing again. And that's where we are.
Exactly, and I think that the other thing is, like, we also find that that's why we're really looking for things like the Jumble sales and the charity boot sales, because I think last year was difficult because we missed a lot. You know, we don't want to keep on going on about the move, etc. But like we missed a lot of boot sales, etc. But even when we were going, I think we used to get to the point where we're like, oh, we've already got a couple of these, and they haven't sold yet. We will leave it, or we'd leave things. Now, I'm gonna just go for the blue whale plankton feeding method, and I'm just gonna be like buying it all because I don't care how many I've got. I don't care if I end up with 30 or 40 PlayStations, because 30 or 40 PlayStations over the space of all the months when there's no boot fairs is nothing. You know, I don't care if I end up with 30 of this or that. I don't care what it is. You know, I'll buy like whatever I can, and I won't be like, oh, I've already got 6 VCRs piled up. I'll pile up another 6 or 12 or whatever.
The problem when we moved is we were very much in a comfort zone. We knew that we had a lot of backlog when we moved.
Yeah.
At the time, I think we only had about 400 listings.
Yeah.
And
yes, we've done.
Yeah,
when you think of that,
we had a big backlog, but then as soon as we were both working
we
on
just,
the store,
we went through it.
Went through it within a couple of weeks, didn't we? And
then,
we were on top of everything. So.
And it's dawned on us now, finally. I mean, some people, the penny takes longer to drop, I guess, but it's finally dawned on us that you do need.
Yeah.
I would say, like, from our experience, again, we just share our journey. That's what we do, guys. From our journey so far, we feel that we need to have as much inventory as possible, so that when you do have those days where you can literally just go to a shelf and be like, that's my day sorted, or that's my week sorted of work, and not have to be going around, because you don't know what you're going to find, how much, especially if you're looking for decent-ish items, right? So, okay, back in the chat, we've got 86 people in here, guys.
Wow.
I'm humbled. We are humbled, I should say.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. If you're enjoying the chat, smash the like button. We really do appreciate the like button being smashed. So thank you very much for joining us. Back into the chat. Let's have a look. I think Reseller Network says that he thinks big ticket prices are down at this time of year. That's why I always have my bread and butter under £10 items that bail me out. Very good point as well.
I will say that we have been getting like low value sales.
I think I've been a bit ignorant to that, haven't I? Like, I think I've been a bit ignorant to that. I'll hold my hands up and be like, I think there was a point where I was like, I only want to have like, you know, high ticket items. But and Hicksy would always say to me actually as well that
and I used to agree with Hicksy.
Yeah, and everyone else as well. Actually, Nick does it as well. Everyone does it. You've got to have your bread and butter items.
Yeah.
Which for me, if Caroline's watching, are my shitty wrestling videos. Indie Chick says sourcing is really difficult at the minute. Went to the charity shop today and got one thing. We found that it's a bit slower.
We went out today. Well, we went out this morning because I was at work this afternoon.
We went to a couple of places and we found nothing really. Yeah, we went to like 3 different places.
Apart from a couple of bits that I liked.
But for yourself, we came back with things for the house. Yeah. Heather says it's a slow time of year, at least over here. Dad says his month's not been great so far either. David Cooper says hi. Don't be so hard on yourself. Anyone has slow times. Thanks, Jason. Miss Beauty says she loves the honesty. Appreciate it. 5 charity shops not a thing for Malinky. Kevin Rosen says been a poor month for most. It will improve. Yeah, things will happen. Sales silly customer questions up 100% though. You always get that. Reseller Network says I had a fantastic month up to the beginning of March. Been pretty poor since, so putting my items on sale. Yeah, had good luck with a 50% off sale. Says Heather, that's great. Phoenix James says greetings. I've noticed that some eBayers don't accept returns on used items. What are your thoughts? You have to offer returns if you're a business seller, so that there's no.
If you're an online business seller,
exactly.
You have to.
Just as Reseller Network says, you have to do that. David Cooper says most of his sales have gone abroad for the past couple of weeks. You can always take photos of you packing the items. Says the hyperpicker. I'm not sure that's in.
It may have been a chat that was going on.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Amanda says most of my zero feedback buyers are guest buyers who don't actually have an account. Yeah, it could be. Carla Jenkins in the chat. Steve's in here as well. No returns are not an option. Yeah. Okay. Let me just see if I can catch up. Reseller Network says I've had a sudden spate of positive feedbacks. So at least people I know. At least I know people are still looking on eBay, just not buying from me since the 1st of March.
It's kind of how it feels, isn't it? We call it they flick the switch off.
They flick the people that that's the term. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. Z, once you have that pile though, you wish you hadn't.
True.
I suppose hyperpicker. That's a good point. The grass always seems greener on the other side.
No, I really like staying on top of things. I don't like having things like around that I know are not listed. So
And Reselling Network actually thinks we should be super picky and not have a backlog. You know, I agree with you to an extent. I do want to have quality, high ticket items, but it's always nice to have lots. You know, Hixie says, you'll have to get by me, CeeLo, okay. Let's have a look. Question: on the mobile app, when you click into items for sale, is the limit 600? I have over 900, but the mobile is not showing them all. Yes, as far as I'm aware, you are right. That the app only, the app will only show you listings up till 600. Yeah, I've got my phone here. I'm pretty sure you're right there, actually.
I don't have that many items on my store, so I can't check. It would be very useful.
Okay, let's have a look. Is it when you're looking at your active listings? I'm pretty sure that's what you mean. If I go to selling, it tells me what my actives are, which is 637.
Does that mean you just can't see?
Yeah, but I think you can't. Yeah, maybe you just can't see all of them or something. But it's showing that I've got the right amount of active.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something. Is all Beaconic asks, is all the 20p Jumble sale all listed and have any shifted?
Yes, it's listed.
It's listed, and yes, it has. Yes, it has.
So
you just had a nice little sale yesterday as well. What was it? The Tommy Hill figure.
Yeah, the Tommy Hill figure jumper sold.
Polo,
and
whatever.
I sold 2 other items as well.
Yeah.
So.
Reseller Network says the Richard and Judy of the reselling world. Okay. Flipping depressing weather all the time, says Polar Shake.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped raining here.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
John Morris says hi. Caroline has joined us, so hopefully she saw my comment about my shitty wrestling figures. Yeah, it's been pretty. It has been like that, but yeah, we'll see. I'm just going to see if I can catch up with the chat.
I don't think we're that far behind.
No, we're not. We're okay. Yeah, definitely shows me all of my 600 plus listings. Says Amanda. Yeah, and yes, Reseller Network says yes. The main thing is to continue to list and build up the shop. Yeah. Sales will come. Definitely. That's exactly what we're doing.
That's what we've been doing, though, isn't it?
It's so nice to have the support of experienced resellers through like the Facebook group and like my little chat that we have going on, because you can talk to someone that's been doing it for longer, has more experience than you,
and has been through those hard
and has been through it. And I've got to say, Caroline says she missed this. We were talking about having low value items,
like our bread and butter items.
And I would say my shitty wrestling action figures, as you described them, were my bread and butter items. Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. But yeah, it's brilliant being able to speak to someone like Caroline who's in the chat, or speak to someone like Nick, and we feel privileged, we feel lucky, because we're still quite wet behind the ears. It's easy to forget for us.
We're still trying to build this.
We're still, and it's so lovely to hear, because you don't suddenly just become bad at what you're doing overnight. We've obviously seen much better results than we're currently getting.
The same stuff we're selling last month.
Yeah, so it's the same stuff. Will you take lessons? I need to list. Got death piles need killing. Yes. And David McGregor asks, will you be watching WrestleMania? Yes, David. Yes. Oh, we're watching WrestleMania. Okay. Now I want to get on to something else. So we've talked about the sales and everything. It's been quite good. I'm loving the positive attitude in the chat about it as well. You guys,
great. It really is great.
It's fantastic to know we've got so much support through like the rocky times, and we can all help each other out like that. Now I want to talk about people buying things or making offers. Okay, people making offers and then like not getting in touch with you, right? Now I had this fantastic little pickup I showed in one of my recent videos, actually. This was from a car boot. I paid £4 for it, and it's a little Ericsson pocket computer thing. I paid £4 for it. I put it up for $99.99, and I got a drunk offer at 3:30 a.m. Well, I'm believing it's a drunk offer. I don't know.
You think it was?
It could well have been a drunk offer at 3:30 a.m. for £60, and I was happy to accept £60 for it. Okay, and then nothing, tumbleweed, right? And until obviously I sent an invoice request, because
that was the day after, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The day after.
And then as soon as I could, I opened it. I don't wait.
You have to wait 48 hours.
Yeah,
I think.
I waited the 48 hours and I opened a case, and then I get a message saying, "Oh, it doesn't look like this comes with the PC sync cable. Then if it doesn't, then it's useless to me." It was clear it didn't come with the PC sync cable. It was mentioned in the listing exactly what it came with, and I just ended up having to say, "Don't worry, the unpaid item case will close by itself in 4 days. Kind regards." Because I don't know what. It's frustrating because if only people would get in touch with you. This is a little bugbear of mine, I think. Only if people would get in touch with you before.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a simple thing.
Some people do.
Some people do. Some people are honest. I actually had someone buy something again with an offer, but the difference. I think this is linked to best offer. I don't know what you guys think of best offer, but best offers I think attract a little bit of headache. A little bit. Or not?
Not always.
No. Well, no, sometimes,
down to the fact that you can't have instant payment thing on it. So in that respect, yes. Yeah.
I mean, I actually had a guy offer me something for like a vintage toy till I accepted. After he made the offer, he contacted me and he paid as well. Yeah. And then he contacts me to ask about the measurements, like it was an afterthought to him. And I hadn't put the measurements anywhere in the listing, so I was happy to give him those. And then he was like, "Look, I don't want, it's not any good." I was happy to just cancel and relist. I don't even know if he paid. I think he just contacted me after making the offer. "Can I have the size, please?" Because, it was for a prop for something, so they needed it to be a certain size. And as it turns out, it was much smaller than they needed, so we ended up cancelling the sale, and it was fine, and I can relist the item. But when someone doesn't bother to get in touch with you, you're then left, now you have to wait for this unpaid item case to close before you can relist the item. So suddenly I've got an item that was listed at like £100, sat there doing nothing, and I find that really kind of frustrating, and I wish that eBay would implement something about that. If they could do that, we would be really happy, because I think it's just no good. Let's have a look. Yes, here we go. There's a lot of people that are suffering this as well. Darren, one thing I just want to pop in there, Darren Smart says one thing about the community is regardless of level of reseller, they're always willing to offer advice, definitely. Carla says, yes, people who make offers and don't pay, what is the deal with these folks? Slow, exactly. With these freaks, slow. Yeah, I mean, all looking in Ixie's direction now, and Ixie says, if it was me, I wouldn't have offered more than a tenner. Reseller Network says, oh yeah, I get people messaging me all the time saying, will you accept £30 for this? So I say, yeah, sure, and never hear from them again. It's just frustrating. Unpaid item case to open on one of those. Caroline's got an unpaid item case to sort out as well. I've got 3 outstanding this week. Maybe instead of a reseller sourcing tour, we should set out on a reseller's revenge tour. That's a great idea, Carla. Going around knocking on people's doors saying, you owe me some money for this item. Jay and Silent Bob. That reminds me, if you guys have ever seen Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, it's a really funny movie. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. There's a funny scene at the end where Jay and Silent Bob go on a road trip around the US to all the internet trolls that have said rude things about them on internet forums to beat them up. And it just reminds me of that. So Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, fantastic movie. And yes, I think it's one of those things that is very, very, very frustrating. I think Carla Jenkins has got an amazing idea there, a reseller's revenge tour. The Hyperpicker says, I have one unpaid item case about an auction lot that looks like I might be getting another one. Looks like it might be starting soon. It's frustrating when it happens. It
is.
And yes, if eBay doesn't force instant payment when an offer is accepted, it opens the door for buyer remorse, says Dobie. That's right. I think it would be so easy for them to do it, and I wonder what their reason is for not doing it. You have to question why. They must have teams and teams of people that work on all these different things, for the user experience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what reason could they have?
I don't know, because they have instant payment when you have the buy it now.
You have the option, you have the option to ask for instant payment, definitely.
Don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit silly, really. Let's have a look. Wigster12 says first time in the chat. Hiya all.
Hello.
Peter Cummins says evening all as well. Kevin Rosen says that's a crazy price considering how out of date it is. It is, but I think it's some people like that kind of thing.
Yeah, some people collect stuff.
Yeah, people do collect this stuff. I'm not. It is. Yeah, I mean, vintage computing is worth a lot. I mean, if you ever come across like an Amiga 4000 or something, you can be in for a lot of cash.
Yeah.
It couldn't be too difficult, says Carla. Yeah, if they slap an instant hold on PayPal funds when a return is started, then I don't see why they couldn't put a hold on PayPal when an offer is sent. Exactly, Carla. I think it's one of those things where it is obviously weighted in the buyer's favour. But what worries me is, like I said, it can just take your item off the market for a while, which is
going to be
because you want to
punish. It's going to be up to 6 days before we can even relist it again.
Yeah, I don't think punish is the wrong word. You want to make buyers aware that there are consequences for putting in offers. An offer isn't just an offer out there. I might offer you a £5. It is, if you're offering a £5, that means you want to pay a £5. And I think being able to open an unpaid item case against someone is teaching them that there's consequences for opening, for sending offers. So I want to do that, but it's costing me because I get I know you get the resale, the final listing feedback. You don't get your insertion feedback, and your item is off the shelf for at least 6 days, isn't it? Like 2 days waiting for payment, and then if you open the case, 4 days. So 6 days your item is off, which I think is which is not cool.
It is.
Having a lot of questions, you dig the item out, find out the answer, it's what they wanted and they still don't buy it, says, will you take less? Yes, that happens.
It can be frustrating, but also...
You had to do that. You had to dig out a pair of...
Yeah, but it can lead to a sale as well.
Yeah.
All of that effort, because... Yeah, I've had it where I've had to go and measure some jeans, but then
dig them out
because of the
and
size, because with jeans they do shrink. So, I mean, although I didn't originally put measurements on my listing, so some of the old ones still don't have measurements on. But when I get questions about it, I will stick the measurements on once I've dug through them and found that.
Exactly, sometimes it's a nice reminder, isn't it? Because then it's like, really, I should have that information on there.
So, in a way it does help me, because then I just make sure it's in the listing, so the next person that comes along has already got that information.
I mean, and there are always going to be listings where you miss out things, so it can work. So it can work in your favour as well. Reseller Network says, I love Jane Silent Bob. Yes, definitely. Ads has popped in as well. Nigel VGM says, love that film. Yeah, I love that film as well. One of my favourite lines. I can't speak it.
How many times we've watched that movie?
I'm gonna get some for stealing the monkey. That's why is that Jay's and the best thing, I think one of the best things in that movie is when they play Bad Medicine from Bon Jovi when they're in that fast food shop. All of Kevin Smith films, well, most of them are amazing. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some more questions. Oh my god, there's a lot of chat about CLIT there. I remember that. Lisa has joined. Bummer, I only just got a reminder. I'm sorry to hear that, Lisa. Thanks for popping in. Let's have a look. Revenge Tour. Matt Morris likes Carla's idea. Definitely. There's a lot of love for Jane Silent Bob there for Nigel as well. Richard Payne says, same with returns. When the buyer has ages to return an item and returns it weeks after accepting my return, I want my item back ASAP to resell. Exactly. It is frustrating. It is really annoying. Knock knock. Hello, £1.24 please. Thank you. Goodbye. Carla's even got a script worked out already there by the looks of it. That's the script. That would be hilarious. Lisa says, I wish I was well, got a nasty infection. Oh gosh, so not feeling too great. Kirsten pops in as well from Kirsten Curiosities. Hello, sorry I'm late again. No need to be sorry. By the way, Kirsten put out a really cool video about her antiques. What's it called? Antique thing. When you have, that's the word, booth.
And you say I'm bad with
No, but
words.
what annoys me is you knew the word I wanted,
Because
but
I'm
you
sitting
on
there
purpose.
waiting to see if you find it.
Yeah, that's just cruel. That's just mean. Yes, antique booth. Okay. Yeah, it was quite cool to check out. So check that out, guys, as well. Returns on sealed items are a pain in the butt, says David Cooper. Yes, definitely. Steve Green talking about. Yes,
Yeah.
it is hilarious. Yes, it's not rude. It's the Coalition for the Liberation of Itinerant Tree Dwellers. I think it was. I love that film. Nothing is out of date, just vintage. One man's out of date is another man's interesting vintage, says Caroline.
Exactly.
And David McGregor has a cheeky question there. I'm not going to go into that. Caroline, would you consider yourself out of date or vintage? That's
You
very
just-
cheeky. Yeah,
You
but
just
very-
said you wouldn't go there.
I didn't go there. I just thought it was the funny comment. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look. What other comments? How about if eBay allowed the item to stay listed for the original price until payment was made by the person who made the offer? See, that's just such
that would be a
common
nice
sense.
alternative, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. And Caroline agrees with what Darren said there. I mean, that would be such a brilliant thing to implement. You know, why not let the item? I mean, when people make offers, the item is still live, isn't it? Until you accept the offer. But why not just make it until payment is made? You know, it's one of those things that you do wonder. Okay, Carla has to go. Potatoes need rescuing. Good luck with that. Right, now here's something that we haven't had much in the way of pickups this week at all, really.
No.
No,
I was trying to think. I was like, have I even picked anything up this week?
we do actually have. Okay, hold on. Actually, what is there some chat about bolos in there as well?
Yeah.
Okay, there won't be bolos for. You shouldn't give out bolos. Yeah, there won't be bolos for. I don't know. It depends. Yeah, I mean, it's an old kind of chestnut. This one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sharing bolos or not. Bolos tend to be bolos because they're like not that common as well. So you could argue that if more people know about it, then when they come across, they get snapped up. But everyone still seems to find them, so I would say, you know, that's the way to look at it, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found something cool. I'm just going to share the one item that we picked up this was yesterday. Check this out. I was really happy to see this in my local charity shop. This is something that's worth picking up. They had it down as a DVD player for some reason, even though it's got no DVD tray and it says Freeview on the front of it. They had it down as a DVD player, and it was $3.99. And this is a Humax Freeview hard drive box, 160 gigabyte hard drive. I tested it out; it works perfectly, and it had some really cool 1998 Football World Cup matches on there as well. So they looked really good. So I tested it out; it was really excellent. I paid $3.99. I should get about 40 to 50 quid back on that. So that's like a little pickup. I got the remote as well. Oh gosh, here we go. Yeah, so what else? We're going to be actually going to a Jumble sale tomorrow as well. So that we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
We'll probably
be
doing a clothes haul tomorrow, guys, for those of you that can tolerate it. But it's one of those things though that we're like really excited about because especially because it gets us a lot of stock for very cheap, and it's been working well. We've been piling it on.
Well, this second weekend we've got a Jumble sale
exactly
set up, so that's really, really great.
Exactly. All right, guys. David Cooper says, "Is that not a satellite receiver?" No, it's not. It's a Freeview one. Satellite receivers will have like the kind of the screw type connection, like the F type, I think it's called, isn't it? F type sockets or something. But yes, let's have a look. When I started, I used to put Bolo in the listing title, says Steve. Oh, that's actually quite funny. You know, it'd be on the lookout for. I mean, you know, it's a keyword, but for resellers. But I don't think they would have been searching eBay for that anyway.
No.
I don't think any. I wonder if a reseller.
Maybe
actually,
let's.
I'm gonna just Google. I'm just gonna go to eBay and search for Bolo quickly. No, wait, some kind of a stone, actually, a bolo tie. like a neck. I think it's like one of those cowboy style
Yeah.
pendants comes up if you type in bolo. So just thought I'd check that out actually. Let's have a look. What have we got here? Question: ever had a buy it now listing with no offers available and was unable to edit? Error message states you cannot edit due to an offer or bid already on this item. No retro cable. I have not ever had that. That is quite a peculiar one. You might, if there's a glitch or something, you might end up having to end the listing or something to edit it. I don't know.
Well, we had one where it wasn't allowing us to relist some children's books in. It was the Horrible Histories, wasn't it? It wouldn't allow us to relist them.
Yeah, it was a bit weird for some reason. Matt Morris asks, do you watch
relisted?
boxing? Yeah, I did, yeah. I sold it, didn't I? Sold it.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The Horrible History box.
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Really?
Yeah, it went
Oh,
yesterday,
yeah.
Yeah. Do you watch
Shows how
boxing?
much I pay attention.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Who do you fancy with the fight tomorrow? I've already said Mr. Hay, but not because I know anything.
No.
Peter Cummins asks, do you get the packaging ready before you list a big electronic item? I'm delaying a DVD video because I haven't got the boxes to send it in. I think that's not a bad idea, but we just list it and then go out looking for a box.
Packaging.
I mean, it might even be worth buying some boxes. But we're lucky we get a supply of used cardboard quite regularly that we can make into boxes. Essential asks, is there a website that advertises jumble sales? Not really. Jumble sales tend to be quite a local thing. Your best bet is to look in your local newspaper and see whether it pops up there. When I started, I used to put OOP Rare on all video games. Let's have a look. I've had that when I've had an offer. If you offered back, says that hyper picker. Oh, so if you've got an offer out, it might not allow you to edit a listing. That would make sense. All right, next thing that we wanted to touch on, the eBay store hike. What do you think of it? The rise in your eBay fees. You weren't that impressed.
I wasn't that impressed. But
how did it affect you? I
don't think it affects my store too much. I'm on a basic store.
The basic store's gone from 20 to 25, right?
Yep.
And then the middle store's gone from like 50 to 70.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the anchor store's gone for, but I know the anchor store was 250 a month.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Then maybe that's gone to like 270, 280. God knows.
I don't know. I don't know about the anchor store, but I know that on the basic store you get.
Yeah.
So currently I get 200 free listings.
Yeah, and that's gone up, hasn't it?
That's gone up to 250.
Something. And you get some auctions?
Get some auctions. I think it's about 50, but I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. I think it's 50.
I don't know. Do you guys think it's worth the extra money? We've been thinking about it. We talked about this a bit on the chat with when I have my Tuesday chat on Nick's channel. It was a question that came up because it had just happened. What
does the middle store go up to?
The middle store, we're up to £70 a month now, but we get like a £10 voucher for stationery, and we get like some extra listings they've added and some auctions. It's a bit frustrating because the cost of it is, I don't know, I don't think it adds up in terms of value as they'd like you to believe, but I think it's one of those things you just have to bite your lip and take, isn't it? Because where else are you going to go?
The cost of it is going to be the cost of it, isn't it? It's not going to change, is it?
Yeah, that is a bit frustrating. I mean, whether it's worth the extra...
Yeah, Peter Cummins has said, they're 250 buy it now, and then 500 free options, Yeah, I thought it was.
Hicksy's got good advice on finding some boot fairs. Just ask any person, I'll use the word person. Over 90, because they will know where the jumble sales are, and they'll probably drain your blood and kick you in a drain. Okay.
Thank you for that, Hicksy.
Yeah, Hicksy. Basic will be 25, Chit 69, Anchor 269.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's it's obviously annoying because you're going to have to pay more money, but it's nice that you're going to be able to list a few auctions for free in case you want it, without having to pay. I think the insertion fee is like 13 pence if you set a price.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's 13,
yeah.
Isn't it?
I think it's 13 pence to do an auction.
Yeah.
If you go over, if you do it at 99p, start the auction at 99p, it only charges you 4 pence to list an auction. But if you set an auction to say 50 quid starting price, because you want to get a minimum of 50 quid, they'll charge you 13p insertion fee. So if you get a few of those, if you want to stick a few your items on at auction at a price that you want to get at buy it now anyway, at least now you can do a few of those without it costing you anything for the, just for the crack of it maybe. People are talking about how certain demographics of society seem to get superhuman strength when it comes to going to a jumble sale. It's true, isn't it, hon? You be honest.
I'm not going to say anything.
You're in there with them. You're in there battling with them. They do seem to somehow. Come on, guys. Age isn't something to be joked about, says David McGregor.
No.
It's a good point, but there is something. I think Hicksy's getting a bit over the top. We don't need a stab fest. Oh gosh. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Yeah. I got my basic store last month for a deal of £17.50 a month, says Carrie Andrew, and a week later get an email to say it's 25. I'm really get listing because I'm only on 75 on there at the moment. That's a bit out of order actually. If you've got a deal, surely the deal would have kept, it would have still they would have honoured it. I would have thought. I don't know. It's that's not cool to be honest.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That was the original deal. They should have kept the original deal.
Yeah, really, I would have thought so.
Afterwards.
Basic store free listings have increased to 250 buy it now, and 50 free auctions. So you'll get that, which is pretty good. I like it because I just started, so it encourages me to expand, says Peter Cummins. Good point. Okay. I think over time you should merge your store with the new pricing structure. Maybe, I mean, at the moment we like it for what it does in terms of what it's. I think us having a separate store at the moment is important for more than just like what financially makes sense. I think it's also it helps you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it helps me
learn it quicker. Yeah,
because I'm solely responsible for the second store.
Exactly.
So although sometimes you will help me out with packaging if I've got to go to work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's all down to me, and
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's helped me learn a lot over the last few months. So
definitely. Definitely, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of comments here about the jumbles. Kirsten says I've never been to a jumble sale. It's on my bucket list. It's an experience. Yeah. It's definitely worth going to.
This is going to be our fourth one now. Is it our fourth one that we've been to?
Yes, only our fourth one while we've been up there. We've been to them down south as well, but up here it's.
But it definitely is an experience.
It is. It's an experience. I mean, they're great though. We absolutely love them.
What?
Yeah, when you see the pile of clothes, it's like
people that run them are fantastic, absolutely fantastic, because there are so many people coming in. And they have been pulled in so many different directions. Yeah. And they're that's all I was saying. So the people that run them are fantastic.
They are. They're really nice actually. Yeah. It takes a lot of effort, I think, to keep, because they're constantly their job is to keep the clothes on the table as they're being yanked up. I mean, you imagine when they first set up a jumble sale, they actually do set the clothes out so that you've got like your kids' clothes, you've got your ladies and your men's, and then you've got like things like curtains and whatever. Literally, a minute into it, it's everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
People do not want to give up their spot. Let's have a look. Okay, I thought it might be a Zaheer money making scheme.
What's that?
Yes, guys, there's this thing on YouTube now called Super Chat, I think, where you can. Press the $sign and it will cost you apparently £2 for a comment. Wow, you'd better make it an amazing comment. Yeah, it has to be like the comment to end all comments.
Exactly.
to be worth that. Obviously, it's up to you guys. I'm not going to say
is it just for one
£2 for one message.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, yeah. That is insane, but...
There better be some super emojis in that chat, eh?
I don't know. To be honest, guys, knock yourself out. Go for it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to read a super chat comment. Okay, let's have a look. Question from Miss Beauty. Have you been back to London since you moved for a sourcing road trip? We haven't. No. We've only been back a couple of once or twice? Twice? I can't remember. I think it was once or twice. And we just went to see family.
Yeah,
it was
just family.
Yeah, we didn't unfortunately get a chance to do a sourcing trip.
Yeah.
We were thinking during the summer it would be cool to go down on a bank holiday weekend.
To go and visit some of our
to go to the old boot sales, because like we had a nice little system down there, didn't we? We would go to all these boot fairs,
and the bank holiday Monday would mean that we'd get the most out of it.
Oh, it'd be awesome!
Like the bank holiday weekend. So
that's something we might do. Actually,
we may do that this summer,
because then we could go to Saturday. We'd have it all planned: Saturday, Sunday,
Monday. Down on the Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, we would go complete.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Only cost $2 bucks. Okay. Why did you get a chop? You should have remained as a private seller for a while and got all special offers they give you. Well, because to do it properly, Reseller Network, really.
Yeah. Because
I'm
not selling my private things, that's the thing.
Yeah, just to do it properly, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And plus, I think that when you're listing so many items, you get lots of tools that help and whatnot. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Wesley Snipes with me in the morning. He will sort them vampires out, says Hixie. Blade is going with him, is he? Okay. Ad says UNZ direct competition, then Hixie. No, me and Hixie, we're like buds. We're fine. We all get different things. Yeah. Hixie's got his links already with the people.
And he always comes running past us and shows us what he's got. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. He's always
like, look.
Yeah, he's already got it sewn up locally.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Let's have a look.
And actually, Hixie has actually shown us some really awesome places as well.
Actually, to be fair, to be fair to Hixie, he's been brilliant.
He has.
I don't think YouTube gets £2. I think YouTube get it. What? Oh, well then don't use it. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I do think it's a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's...
Don't let the words church jumble sell fool you, says Nigel. It was a room full of greed and evil. I was scared. It was crazy. Did you go to St. Philomena's Booteasy? Asked Peter Cummins. St. Philomena's was a school down in Sutton Way.
It was.
It was down in Sutton. Yeah. We never went there. We used to drive past it to go to other places, I think.
We never actually went there.
We used to kind of drive more down towards Sussex and stuff. Yeah. Like, we used to go to Sayers Common Boot Fair, Peas Pottage, Rusper, and there was a few other ones. There was another one down there as well on a Saturday.
Sayers. Sayers Common, and there was another one that it was kind of like an alternate, like, so one week it would be one of them and then the next week it would be on a different field. So but they were part of the, I think they were both organised by the same people, it's just they moved the fields. Was it?
I think so. But we used to go down that way, and one thing I'm looking for.
The open car park one, I can't remember where that was.
I think one thing I will say is, once you really know an area, you can manipulate things to your advantage. You get. I was just saying, like, you know what to do, don't you? So, for example, you know where to go first. Like for example, this Jumble sale that we're going to tomorrow, because now we've been to it before, we have a rough idea of what's going to be where. So where we can head. Whereas the last time we went, we kind of, I mean, we still got lucky. This was the Jumble sale we got MJ at for 30p or whatever. He's now sat in the shed.
In the shed, getting cold.
Bless him. He needs a chin implant. He needs a bit more.
I'm gonna get some stuff in.
Exactly. Let's have a look. A lot more chat about the super chat. The money from the super chat goes to the streamers. Ian Beck says, David Morse. Oh, in that case, super chat away, guys. Wow, it goes up to £500. I'm from your old neck of the woods, says Peter Cummins. Yeah, we never went to St. Philomena's, but it did look like it could be a decent one. And Miss Beauty says, love bank holiday boot sales. I may see you then. Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I mean, I think we'd love to just go down and do that.
Yeah.
Our aim is going to be this year to just get a nice little system worked out where we know where to go on a Saturday, in what order. We knew where to go when. We were like kind of clockwork down south, I will say that. We knew.
I mean, it was a lot.
We went for a long time,
didn't
we tried a lot of
because we used to go
different boot fairs.
It always made sense to go to the local ones first, and then over time we kind of realised actually the local ones weren't giving us what we necessarily wanted. So then we kind of moved out a bit more. We branched out, didn't we?
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. Question: how often will someone put an item down at a boot sale? Missed out on a vintage radio last week. Gutted, worth £150 plus, says Retro Cable. How often will someone to put an item down? I think each season there's at least 3 to 5 times, I would say. That's not scientific, but I'm just guessing that's how it feels. Where you're standing behind someone thinking, put it down, put it down. And
it's alright as long as you don't say it out loud.
Yeah, you just have to say it loud. Put it down. I think it's very that does happen. You just have to deal with it. Okay, let's have a look. Question for Beck, says Lisa. What brand of clothing do you sell most of, and what is the average selling price? Ooh.
That's a tough one because
a
lot of what I pick up is high street stuff.
Yeah, it's high street stuff.
So it's like the next Oasis. I know they're not really on the high street anymore, are they?
Levi's and all that kind of,
jeans.
Jeans have done
really
well, haven't they?
Actually.
Jeans have done well,
G-Stars,
G-Stars,
both of those I think have gone now.
Oh, we've got Bonafide Hustler in the chat as well. I've got to say hi to Chris. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. It's
a lot of high street brands, and to be quite honest, Lisa, what I do is I just check sold listings, and at the moment I'm pricing competitively, I call it.
Yeah.
So it may be a little bit under what other sellers are selling theirs.
But you need to, because you need to build
up my feedback on that store. So and build up, the store in general. So
sure.
I'm just
Can Mrs. Z do a video on how she measures men's and women's clothing? I just list them according to tags. You probably could do. I think most of those. That would be quite an easy video to make. Most of the time the tag will do the job, but I think, is it jeans mostly, or have you found it on other clothes?
I do. Jeans are the ones that I notice are different from the tag. Yeah.
Jeans are the ones that tend to differ, but regular clothes tend to be.
I think this week I listed 2 pairs of jeans, and they're not what they've got on the tag. So.
Raz has given out some terrible advice. Do not shout fire when you go to the Jumble sale. That is, I'm sure that's. Bonafide says, "Is this a cheddar Chinwag?" Yes, it's all about that cheddar. We don't get cheddar weather here very often, as you call it. Yeah. But this is basically a chat about reselling and how we're doing, that kind of topic, really. Just a bit of a casual chat with everyone in the chat. Or at Jumble Sale, shout out free Senna tablets outside. Okay, here we go again with the age-related jokes. I'm not sure we should be doing that. Okay, it's quite okay. I think the thing with Jumble Sales is it does attract a lot of people. It attracts. We've noticed all kinds of people. We've seen little kids there, young people there, middle-aged people like ourselves. I suppose we're middle-aged now. Yeah. Yeah, you're not young, are we?
Older than middle-aged.
No, I'm going with middle-aged. We're middle-aged. Then there's like older people. Then there's elderly people. The scale is there.
Why do you laugh when you say elderly?
I'm not laughing. I'm just saying that you can't be so stereotypical of Jumble sales. I think Jumble sales are just fantastic. Yeah. Lots of people go there. Mm-hmm. People are very competitive when they go there, and that's because where else are you going to be paying 20p?
I have to say, I haven't had much like whenever I've been there,
Yeah.
I seem to be stuck with the nice.
Yeah, you've been all right.
Because they always go to me, oh, do you mind if we switch places if you're done in that section? I'm like, yeah, go on then. Because, you know, I haven't looked over in the section that she's looked at. So, you know, I'm like, yeah, fine.
Exactly.
Quite happy to do that.
Flat Eric is on my wish list along with Hero Quest and any Mega Man PS1 games, says Matt Morris. I've not found a Flat Eric yet, I don't think. And I've not had a Hero Quest either. Mega Man, I'm not sure that's going to happen. Mike says, wait, what, this is about reselling? I wondered why my confidence wasn't growing. It was a self-help chat. Okay.
We can try and help, but...
Yeah, I mean, we do a bit of both. Don't dare call yourself middle-aged when I know what age you are and you're just a few years older than me, says Amanda. Well, I don't know. I thought we were middle-aged. What age would you say? I mean... 35, man.
Yeah.
Old. That's how it feels.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting to that hill, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, guys, it is 8 o'clock. Middle age is 40 plus these days. It used to be 35.
Really?
But as the average death age increases, middle age increases too. Ads, thank you for that nugget of information.
So we're still young.
Yes. Reseller Network says Jumble sells. I like that Father Ted episode where all those old women start finding Ted like zombies. Okay. Father Ted is fantastic. Yeah. I've been watching a lot of it recently. One particular bit.
We won't say which bit.
I love it. It's so brilliant. So, I hear you're a racist now. It's like, what? Oh god, what's the official church line on it? Oh, I love it, absolutely love it. Okay guys, apparently we're not middle-aged. Okay, you're as old as you feel, says Hyperpicker. We feel middle-aged then.
Yes.
Okay guys, Steve says, brand new to this, as well as turning eBay accounts to business, what would you do the same with PayPal? Yes, you should really do the same with PayPal. Main reason being it will allow you to move more money in and out of your account.
Because you have restrictions on it, don't you, initially? I had restrictions on my PayPal account, didn't I? And
it won't let. There's only a certain amount of cash you can take out during a year. Only a certain amount of transactions you can carry out during a year as well. So there we go. A lot of love for Father Ted, definitely. Ads loves it as well. Zaheer, please tell us which particular bit. Otherwise, just mentioned it. I'm not sure. I've been watching Sopranos, so awesome, says Matt. Father Ted rocks, says Lisa.
Yeah, the Father Ted one. It's the I don't know the title of the one that you watch on YouTube.
Carrie Ann says, I'm 31 this month, still feel like a young girl. 50 is middle-aged to me. Yeah, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, we're young. I'm young now, guys. Yeah. I've just gone in that space of time from being middle-aged to young. I'm young.
Okay, that's good to know.
Are you young?
I don't feel it most days, but apparently.
Okay. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. It's been fantastic chat. Love all the comments, etc. We've got 113 people in the chat at the moment, which is astonishing. So Karen says I'll be 50 in August, and I feel and act like I'm 19. Says Lisa. That's the spirit. Really appreciate it. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. We will probably be doing a live Jumble sale haul if we make it out of the Jumble sale.
If it goes well tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a stream tomorrow.
Miss Beauty asked question, what are your thoughts on PayPal working capital? I'll quickly answer that. We think it's fantastic. As long as you use it to buy inventory.
Yes.
That is the key. Use it to buy inventory. If you don't use it to buy inventory, then it's bad.
It will not help you in any way.
And that's speaking from personal experience, if you know what I'm saying. Right? Buy inventory.
If you use it for stock, it is absolutely brilliant.
Okay guys, thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and we will see you probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.